Hello people, okay, I thought I should do an update on the food poisoning. I just had a taste of a bit of the raw burger and it's very, very faint, but it's there. The horrible sharp taste of bitter taste that made you feel ill and made you not want to have a cup of tea and made you feel after you had a cup of tea seems to have gone. But it seems to be, they've seemed to replace it with that other thing that makes your tongue go sore, but not a lot, very little. I don't use my tea bags, I empty them into a teapot. Because I believe the paper has got something in it as well, you know, it's surprised me. The milk I got from Lidl, I have to say, wasn't too bad. It was very creamy as well, but there's a very, very small amount of that chemical that makes your tongue go sore, but only a very, very small amount. In here. I mean, basically, what I've found is that they've put it in everything. And it's just depending on how much of the quantity they put in there to whether or not you notice it that much. But you know, frightens me to death people how long they have been doing this because without us noticing it, you know. Right. So something is being said a little. Something's, you know. Right. Okay. I've been doing some research and trying to work out what chemical makes your tongue go sore. And I've been doing some research and I have come across nitric oxide, okay? I've done a bit of reading up about it and it can, in small quantities, okay, because I believe that, I think your brain produces nitric acid, your body produces nitric, but only in very small quantities to counter-react other chemicals and all to work in liaison with other chemicals in your body to keep a balance. Now it says that if you've got too much nitric oxide in your system, nitric acid, nitric oxide, okay, and nitric acid, what happens, an oxide, I've got to explain what an oxide is. I've been campaigning against chemtrails for 13 years now, so I had to understand what oxide, right? Aluminium oxide or oxide. You know when you get aluminium trimming on your car or something, on the wheel, and you go out some days and you just got like this coat of kind of grey dust on it and you run your finger on it. That's oxide. When a metal oxidizes, that's what it does. It's reacting with the atmosphere around you, the oxygen, and it's, you know, it's like when you, copper does the same thing when it oxidizes, it goes that sort of greeny colour. It's the same thing. Anyway, so you've got nitrous oxide and you've got nitric acid, okay? Both really are the same chemical, they're just in a different compound, okay? Anyway, I've been doing the reading up and it does make your tongue go sore, okay? It can make your mouth go sore, your teeth, it can make your eyes irritable. Anyone getting that one? And just basically, it can just make you generally feel dizzy, sick, just generally unwell, you know, because you're inducing too much nitric oxide and it unbalances the chemicals in your brain. Now, this is interesting actually because nitric acid, okay, if you get too much of it in your brain, if you get too much of it in your body with oxiding, okay, I hope that's the right word. One of the uncanny things it does is it stops your brain's ability to repair itself, okay? And guess what? It can cause, like I said, it can cause a stroke. I think they're aiming for the stroke mainly. Alzheimer's, all kinds of brain diseases. And and also it can cause pulmonary edema. It can cause a build-up of fluid in your body, in your lungs as well. I keep thinking the connection between divers, you know, because they get this, don't they? They get nitric acid poison because they have to put certain chemicals in the oxygen to balance out the chemicals being at that depth and stuff, you know. It's just, and that causes strokes, doesn't it? It causes trouble in the brain, and it's the same chemicals doing the same thing, okay? So not only does it give you Alzheimer's, strokes, brain disease, it also interferes with the ability of your brain to be able to put itself in a stasis to repair itself. It inhibits that, it stops that. So the damage gets worse without repairing itself. So there we go, people. And not only that, right, now I was thinking that if you want to poison someone en masse, especially en masse, the last thing you want is for them to notice it, okay? But they with nitric oxide or nitric acid, right, you cannot have, you have to be able, you've got to, your body, the early warning systems are your tongue going sore. And they can't stop that. They can just about everything else, but they can't stop your tongue from going sore. And think about it, right? When you taste food, when you put food on your tongue, okay, your tongue is like, it's a gland, isn't it? It's not an organism that soaks up that. Your gums soak up the food and the taste, okay? And that goes up into the upper cleft of your brain, and that goes into the front lobal part of your brain. In your brain, it goes up into your brain. You know, take a bag of sherbet, you know, whoosh, straight up into your head, isn't it? So they've done their homework, obviously. So even before our bodies started digesting it, it's being soaked up by our tongue, our gums, the upper part of our epididymis of our brain, and it's going into our brain straight away, before it even gets down into our digestive system. And I don't know about anybody else. I mean, I have been covertly poisoned wherever I can go, in a camper van, and a campsite in the middle of nowhere, in property where I move into. You know, so it's obviously affected me more. I am sort of like, you know, I've got carbon air filters running everywhere. I'm wearing double masks, you know. But after I put a video out about 2 weeks ago, fripping out, people, I nearly fainted in my own property. I literally nearly bowed over. I was in bed and I nearly just fainted. It was a similar feeling like, you know, when you're blowing up a balloon and you get that feeling in your cheek, you know, that sort of feeling where both your cheeks go a bit weird. And I wasn't blowing any balloons at people. I nearly fainted for the amount of poison that was around me. And I've seen this pattern. I put a video out and then they hit me hard, you know. So there we go, people, okay? I've done a bit of homework. I can't really see this chemical that's making our tongue go sore and making us feel. I can't really see it being anything else, because of the symptoms of what it's doing and how it's affecting. You know, on a low level, all it really can do to start off with is make you feel dizzy, so slightly euphoric, and not that well. But with enlarging more and more quantities, it's going to cause problems with like strokes, brain damage, Alzheimer's, you know. So there we go, people. I've noticed also it can cause jaundice. It makes you go slightly jaundice, and I've noticed this. I've been looking down, like, you know, in the front room, whatever, and thinking, well, that's weird. I look a bit yellow. And also it interferes with your sleep, okay? So the two together, you know, it's you know, work fighting at both ends, isn't it? Destroying your brain and not getting any sleep. Bad combination. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know, people. You know, I had to take. Sometimes I take a reality check, people. I think, what, you know, are they spraying us for something else to make this more acceptable or something? You know, the other day I said, oh, right, now I've got to go to the supermarket and buy poison food to take home and poison myself. You know, reality check, people. It's bad enough coming from our skies, wasn't it? Why are they spraying it at ground level as well? Sulfuric acid at ground level is going to do nothing. Remember at the bus stops, making all that palaver and noise. Oh, we've got to make this noise. You've got to keep the screen cool. And what? No, it's just a machine pumping out poison from underneath the bus stop. The thing that makes you urinate all the time, okay? You know, it's just the chemical. And we're walking around going, Reality check, people. I am going to the supermarket now and I am buying food that has on purpose been laced with a certain kind of poison to poison me and damage me and end my life early. Reality, people. Where's it going? Cheers. Keep fighting.